I think the administration has indeed settled in well. They've settled down very well. If you remember and if you recall very well, the president himself, from the very first day, hit the ground running with a few of his far-reaching, policy statements, which indeed has shaped a lot of narratives in the country. So how have some of those policies, how has it melted out? Obviously, I mean, they have been very hard pill to take, but indeed they've been a corrective medicine. You need to take a medicine, you need to have a recovery time, before you can have a full effect of whatever medication that you have taken. And we're beginning to see that. A simple example was also is thought to be able to create transport palliative during this festive season, to commuters, to train customers all around the country, at selected routes just to ease, their means of transportation. So indeed what I see is the government had sort of like set very bold, audacious agenda for themselves. I dare say that, in my view, a lot of the ministers have also settled in very well. A lot of them. You've seen them traverse up and down of this country. You've seen them set, narratives about their various ministries, agencies. But has the work been finished yet? No. It's a 4-year tenure, right? So we're saying, Kaiser, 7 months, like you said. They are on the right track. Will we win, the economic battle of this country? Yes, I think we will. Will it be faster than we thought? That is prosperity to judge. But I think truly, really, we need to commend him. We need to commend, the very, very tough, hard, economic choices that he has made. All of the international rating agencies have also commended, positive, outlook for the country. And in my view, that, enhance, investors' confidence. And indeed, what you begin to see is there will be a lot of foreign direct investments that will happen over time. So what I see is the first quarter of next year, I will expect to see, a lot more improvement in not only the GDP, component, but more importantly, monies in the hands of a common man. We can speak all of the big grammars around economics, and rest of it, but the common man also still needs to feel it, right? And that's what I feel. You've seen in the last 2 quarters a growth in the economic trajectory of the country, but how does that translate, to the earnings, to the price of goods, to the cost of transportation, the cost of living wage? How does that, those are some things that I will see, in the new year. And I think, part of the ways also to also, do that is to continue the narrative and ensuring that we, for example, in agric, we eat what we grow and we grow what we'll need to eat, And, at the risk of sounding, on one side, we have started that in Lagos, where we are also developing, last mile markets to ensure that we can reduce and remove, incidents of middlemen, so we can take, customers almost directly to the market, to the farmers, and create, that chain where they can get, their produce, their goods, cheaper, faster, and quicker. So those are some of the things that you will see in the new year that, in my view, will change positively, the narrative, of this country.
Your Excellency, like you said, these are very difficult decisions that he has taken, and now Nigerians are feeling it. What do you say to Nigerians regarding this?
Well, it's tough when you're also talking to a man that thinks that all things are hopeless. But I want to say that things are not hopeless. We're in a small tunnel that we see light gradually coming out, at the end of a tunnel. And like I said, we've been diagnosed with all sort of ailment. We've gotten, in my view, right medication. We're just working on the medication to have a full effect, onto the body. So my advice will first be to commend Nigerians for their resilience, to thank them for their patience, for their belief in this government, but to say to them that I believe that the worst times, in my view, are really behind us. It's really how quickly, the recovery, begins to impact common man on the street. The recovery had started, and I can say that because we have a very extensive meeting, even at the NEC meeting during the last week. The recovery had started, but how quickly does it have to get to an ordinary Nigerian who is there on the street? Those are some of the to-do that both at the national and the sub-national level that we need to do. And let's really continue to make investment into areas where the lives of people can be touched. Let's continue to support, the poorest of the poor in our system, and let's use, technology to help us also situate some of these challenges so that we are not, given what is not meant to the wrong set of people.